2, 3. The Hangout on air is live. Hey, everybody. I think we're here. Tom Coleman. And we have our two wonderful ladies are with us today. We got Arizona Lowe and Catherine Wilfong. How you guys doing?
Good, Tom. How's it going?
Cool, cool. Is anybody running Arizona? Are you running the
Comment tracker?
Yeah.
Yes, I do have the comment tracker
If
running.
anybody's got comments out there, please put them out. And just right off the bat, we're going to be talking about podcasts, what podcasts we like, and YouTube and search a little bit. And so if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And anything else you guys want to talk about out in the audience. But I want to give a shout out real quick because Stephen Q. Shannon mentioned in the stream that he liked Mitch Joel, Chris Brogan, and Dan Pink. So those guys all have podcasts. And of the three, I know who Chris Brogan is. The other two guys I've never heard of before, though. So I just wanted to mention that and give Stephen a shout out. Hey, Stephen, shout out, buddy. Okay. That was that. So where are we? Has anybody seen Dustin? Okay. You were saying something about search, Catherine. Go ahead. You got the chair.
Okay. Well, you were saying before this broadcast started that the Google search, I guess people who are searching on Google, is down to the levels of 2008.
Yep,
and
that's what I said.
I have a thought about that.
Okay.
When I use Google to search, I see a lot of the same websites appear over and over again, even if it's on the first page or even the second page, because I'll start digging through. And I believe that people get frustrated with that. And also, when I'm searching on a smaller book, there's a lot of paid advertisement at the top, even if it's 2 or 3 ads. That takes up a lot of space. So people probably are frustrated with that. So if you are, however, Google's ranking pages, possibly some of the same companies are getting ranked over and over again, and it's just like, oh, if I click this link, it's going to take me to the exact same website. So it's kind of a useless search.
Well, I actually, sorry, Tom.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I actually will, if I find that the first page is just filled with the same old, I'll jump. I'll jump to page 5 or page 10, and I'll start searching backwards.
Right.
Well, let me ask this, okay, for both of you.
That's Google's algorithm is messed up.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you too, Catherine. This is for you too, and Arizona, both of you. When you're doing your searches, when you do a search, do you do a personalized search, or are you doing a non-personalized search? In other words, you got to click the button. You either got to click the button over on the side, it's on the right-hand side, so that you'll pull up all searches rather than your personalized search. Because as long as you're signed in into Google, so if you're ever searching on your phone, on your Android, I guess you're signed into Google just being on Android. But I mean, most of the time you're on a personalized search thing, so that what you're throwing up is stuff that it's on basically people you know.
I've actually signed out of Google. I've signed out and tried to search. I've signed out and then went to what is it, the anonymous?
Yes.
Yeah, to search, and it's pulled up the same crap.
Okay, that was my question. Okay.
And well, I think what you're battling, because I'm assuming you're searching for psychics, correct?
Right. So like I'll look like psychics,
so
whatever.
So what you're battling, and I'm afraid that even if you were to go into Bing or other search engines, you probably would have the same problem, and that is that you've got these big companies that have massive amount of pages, and so all their pages are showing up before anyone else.
Yeah, and that might be true, but I'm talking about even searching for other things. It seems like there's a lot of pages, because I do searches on other things also. There's a lot of pages that will show up, websites that will show up, that are really the same websites over and over again. And
it's the same problem. You have companies who have kind of they've monopolized a niche. Yes.
Yeah, and they figured out how to get ranked. They figured out how to beat the algorithm, even though Google, says, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that, and it's, organic and, blah 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 blah, and that's the problem. You've got smart engineers in Google, and you got smart engineers that are saying, hey, guess what? We can be just as smart as the engineers at Google. So pay us enough, and we'll get you ranked.
It's a matter of getting enough information on a single website to have it monopolized.
Right.
And that's a direction I would love to see today's visions go in, where we're monopolizing, artists or whatever. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Because I don't think I could ever beat fine art.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You just have to have a lot of popular stuff out there that everybody's sharing.
But you see, what I'm telling you is the problem.
Can I finish, Catherine?
Oh, go ahead.
Let me just finish, then you can jump in, okay?
Go ahead.
But if you get a lot of stuff that's shared out there everywhere, the more shareable your stuff is, and if you get tons and tons of people sharing it, you can, and the traffic, because I know people that have blogs that are beating all kinds of, that they're in their industry, they're beating the industry standard blogs, which were #1 before, and these guys are ranking higher than them. And they're not, these guys that I know that are doing that are not doing, it's nothing black hat, it's all white hat stuff. So I mean, it's just how popular you are, and that's a function of people liking and sharing your stuff and getting it out and getting backlinks all over the place from that activity. So go ahead, Catherine. I'm sorry.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay.
What I'm trying to say is that when you say that people searching on Google is down to the 2008 levels, there's a reason for it. I shared with you my thoughts on the reason for it. And if you're trying to become ranked and you believe that that's going to increase your business, it could increase it some, but there's you're going to have to also go where people are searching now, because there's a problem with what's going on at Google and how they're ranking people, or things are getting ranked, because people are not going to the 10th page. They look at the first page and they see the same company over and over and over, and they're like, okay, I got to go someplace else to search. So you have to take more than a one-pronged approach to your business at this point to get the word out. Yes, you do want to be ranked. I'm not saying Google is obsolete by any means. That's not my point.
Oh, there's still the gorilla in the room. So
right, they're still huge. You want to be on Google, but you also have to find where other people are searching and get ranked, or be at first with them. And that
your comment is just, when you go someplace, you got 4 people ranked, and if you got your paid advertisement, and below that's the same people ranked below it, right? Okay. Well, we appreciate that, and
I think
one of the things that they're doing is they're ranking people higher that are authority sites, and that's got something to do with that too. But that's a valid irritation. So anyway,
it's become a popularity contest. just like anything else. Marketing is nothing but a popularity
Well,
contest.
yeah, that's true. Did you pull that? Did you pull that up, or you've got this pulled up?
Yeah, Jamil.
Hey,
It says sorry I'm late and good
yeah.
evening.
Good evening. All right, we gave him a shout out. Well, anytime you pull anybody up, give them a shout out, and then let's drop them. But let's say hey. Hey, when Dustin showed up. Hey, Dustin, how are you? Well, maybe he dropped out. Okay. Anyway, he's still there. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, there you are. Just saying, hey, bud, how are you?
I'm doing good. My connection sucks, but I'm doing good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're driving, aren't you? Yep. You got to pull over. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about podcasts though, and let's talk about. I mean, what podcasts? Is anybody listening to podcasts? And if so, what podcast are you listening to? Any takers? If you're not listening to podcasts, say you're not listening to podcasts.
Oh my God.
I mean, but everybody and their brother are doing podcasts. So do you listen to any of them? Arizona, do you listen to any of them?
I listen to quite a few HOAs, and yeah, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He does a tech talk that I listen to fairly faithfully. I catch up once a month. I go on a binge.
But is he putting that on a podcast?
It's a podcast, yeah.
Okay, cool. But you don't remember who he is?
I can't off the top of my head. I'd have to look on my computer.
You know the name of the show?
It's a tech talk.
Okay. Cool. Well, shout out to Tech Talk. Catherine, do you listen to any podcasts?
Well, I know someone who's been doing podcasting for a long time, and he's very successful at it. He works with Max. He runs a company called the Mac Observer. His name's Jeff Gamet. He puts out a podcast weekly. You want to look him up. I'm not into Max, but if you're in, he goes around, does speaking engagements, and check him out. Check out the Mac Observer podcast. I don't know, he probably does some other podcasting. I'm very familiar with it, believe me.
Cool. Dustin, you listen to any podcasts, bud?
Only sometimes when I drive, I listen to comedy podcasts. That's about it.
Okay. So if anybody in the audience has got some podcasters that they listen to, we talked about Stephen Q. Shannon, but Pat Flynn's got a good one, the Smart Passive Income. He runs that, and that's a really good show. And Tim Ferriss, I haven't actually listened to his show, but I love his book, the 4-Hour Work Week, and so theoretically he's got a pretty good podcast. So I've got to go out there and take a look at him. And Ray Higdon's got a podcast. And when I was putting this thing together, the interesting thing, you talk about people need to be out everywhere. Well, when I did Ray, because most people have their stuff on iTunes, but then I'm on Android, so I want somebody to be on an Android platform too. And some people are on iTunes and they're not on Android. And I think they're missing the boat there. If you're a podcaster and you hear this and you're doing that, put it on Android, man. So you got more Android people out there than you do iPhones. But the neat thing about Ray, I was searching for him within the document, and it pulled him up. He's on at least 3 different things. He's on iTunes, and he's on 2 Android things, and he's also got a blog that it comes out on, and I know that I've seen it on something else too. I just didn't pull it up while I was looking. So he's out there everywhere. And my favorite guy is Ben Settles. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's a copywriter. He's one of the better copywriters in the world right now. He's done a lot of really, really great things. And he's got a show. It's called Ben Settles, and it's the Antipreneur Show. And then John Lee Dumas comes up probably number 1. in most of the stuff if you're just looking at podcasts. But anyway, so I just wanted to disrupt that.
I feel like blog and podcast are in the same word category. There's still a lot of people that are still confused on what that is. And just to clarify, when you do a podcast, it's always a free download, right?
Say it again.
When you do a podcast, it's always a free download. Is that correct?
Most of the time, it does download it. Yeah.
For free.
In other words, yeah. I mean, none of them that I'm aware of are paid. Go ahead, make your point.
That's the point. It's just a free downloadable training that is, for me, it took me, I don't know, probably 10 years to figure out what the word blog was. What is a blog? What do you do on a blog? Who cares about what you do on a blog? I couldn't get it. Finally, it clicked after a while, but I feel like podcasts in that same category.
No. Podcast, it's a blog is a written medium, and YouTube is a visual medium, and podcast are an audio medium. So it's different mediums to touch people with. So it's just a way to spread your content out, is the way I look at it. So. And then you can spread it out on iTunes, which is a big player. And then you've got Stitcher, you've got TuneIn Radio, which I forget who was on TuneIn, but one of these guys was on TuneIn, which is TuneIn is a radio station. And you can if you go to TuneIn, you can pick up almost any kind of radio station and play it on your. It's a browser deal. So you don't have to I don't think you don't download anything there. You just play it in the browser, and so some of these you can play in the browser too, but some of them you download. But anyway, it just depends on what medium they're on. But anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Okay, here's a quick shout out from Tammy Cook. Says, "Yay for androids!"
Yay! Tell it, Tammy. Tammy's the Android.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she'd be lost if she did. I need to get with you, and you need to teach me how to do better on my phone. I have some problems with it, but at least mine I can talk to, so that works better. Hey, Tammy. So anyway, what else we got going on? So we talked about search a little bit. Do any of y'all? I mean, a lot of times I start my search with YouTube. I mean, I actually use YouTube as a search portal. What are you guys doing? Do you guys do that very much, or occasionally, or? I know, Arizona, you said you generally start out with the Google search and then go to YouTube and then get stuck on YouTube.
Well, yeah, I either go or YouTube, Pinterest, depending on what I'm searching for. Whichever way I go. But yeah, if I'm going to watch a video, I get stuck on YouTube.
Well, how do you use Pinterest to search?
Pinterest is an awesome search engine. It just brings up, especially for how-tos. It brings up videos, it brings up images, everything. It's a pretty powerful tool. Well,
that's pretty cool. Because I didn't think, but that's right. Pinterest, you can put video on too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Cool. What about you, Catherine? Do you ever start your search somewhere else? And Amazon theoretically is getting involved in search too, so they're looking to take over part of it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yes, I do start other places. I will do search with other search engines. So I pull up a list of search engines, and I'll utilize those. I mean, there's several other search engines out there other than Google.
Right. So who do you pull up, and what do you do?
Well, sometimes I'll actually search on Bing.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll search on Yahoo. Sometimes I'll search on Ask. Sometimes I'll search on just some of the general ones that are out there. And then if that doesn't yield, what I want, I will go to. I know that you guys say you end up on video on YouTube, but obviously you're searching for something that you would want to watch a video on. So, what is it that you guys end up watching videos about and for, and why do you search on YouTube?
Anything and everything. I mean, everything from doing a craft and learning how to paint with chalkboard paint, which was a doozy, to learning new ways of running HOAs or marketing advice or just about anything.
Anything. I mean, you can find anything that you're interested in. I don't know what you can't find on YouTube. I mean, I think it covers. I mean, it's the second largest search engine. I think it's the second largest search engine in the world. It's only behind Google. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
And my hang up with YouTube though is that if it's a 20-minute talk about a marketing thing and I can go out and read it, I can read it much faster and digest it much faster.
Well, one of the things that you can do is you can go on the settings though and stick it on 1.5 and 2 times the speed, and most of them you can understand at 1.5 the speed, and some of them you can understand at 2 times the speed. So if you put it on 2 times the speed on the thing and you're listening to somebody talk, because I talk slow and I speed myself up. I speed myself up when I'm listening to it, but you could do that, and that helps things too. And theoretically, you can do that on some audio stuff too. But I've never been able to figure out how to do that on audio just yet. So anyway, because I do listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them I listen to over again, and I'd like to speed those things up. So if anybody out there knows how to do that real quick, put a comment, and we'd love to shout that out for you.
I can tell you how to do that.
Yeah, do it.
Right now, if you want to, if you download the podcast, put it into your Windows Movie Player, click on the file and click play at 1.5 times, and then save the file, and then it'll be.
Oh yeah, but I don't download that stuff though. I got you. That's a good solution.
There's always a workaround, Tom. There's always.
That is true. There's always a workaround. That is so true. All right. So, tell us? Where do you start your searches, Dustin? What are you doing on your search? I mean, do you use YouTube a lot, or you do mostly Google searches, or what are you using on your search stuff when you're looking for different
information? I'm pretty addicted to Google, and I can find whatever I want there. I usually even like.
Okay.
Oh no.
And we have a question from the audience too.
Yeah, pull it up. Bo. Don't know how to use Pinterest. Okay.
And what is it for?
If you're a blogger, it'll get you a lot of traffic to your blog, and it also is, I believe this is accurate. You can sell stuff on Pinterest, and Pinterest has the highest dollar value of per sale than anybody, I think.
I was not aware that you could sell things on Pinterest. That's new to me. I'll have to go.
Oh yeah, yep. They're known for that. That's one of the things that they're known for. So, but address his question a little bit there, if you would.
Well, I mean, except beautiful publication and arts. Pinterest is about anything that you can have a picture on, so or an image on. So I have seen a lot of videos on Pinterest. Infographics are huge on Pinterest about just about any subject, and I think Jamil's misconception and many people's misconception is that it first started out being directed primarily to women and for crafts and recipes, and it has just blossomed exponentially from there.
Well, there's still mostly women on the platform, I think. But, okay, well, I haven't seen any stats on it lately, so that might be right.
When it first started, you had to get an invite, and it was primarily women. You had to get an invite to join Pinterest, and it was from a woman that got mine.
But what a lot of, if you're a blogger, is he a blogger? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Jamil, do you blog? Hopefully he'll answer. I'm not sure.
I mean, if he's a blogger, what the bloggers do is I mean, it's a highly rated, it's an authority site, and so what bloggers do is they take their pictures and their videos from their blog, and they put it on different boards that are based by subject on Pinterest, and what that does is it gets backlinks to your blog and stuff, and because it's an authority site, that backlink is worth a bit, so it helps to increase traffic back to your blog if you're a blogger.
And Tammy wants to know if it makes a difference on what search engine you use.
Well, YouTube, like for example, YouTube does not, you can't find necessarily the same things on YouTube that you find on Google search. Although YouTube shows up on Google search because there's a specific tool that you can use to run searches, and what you're looking for with the tool is you're looking for searches in YouTube that you can rank on YouTube for, whereas you might not be able to rank on them in Google search. Does that make? I don't know if that answers her question or not, but yeah, they've got different. There is some difference to them, but there's a lot of the similar stuff, but there are differences to them. You will run into differences.
I would think the biggest difference is like with Bing, Yahoo, and Google, everything is inclusive. Whereas with YouTube or Pinterest, only the items that are located on their site is included.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Does that get that one?
Yeah, we'll get our next one too.
Okay, cool.
If you guys are doing Pinterest, go in and do an image search of the topic that you're looking for, the niche. Copy, 50 pictures, and put that on a board. They could create a new board just to that niche. And if you share pins, the pin's original post will share that link. So if you're pinning someone else's pin, you're advertising for them because their link will be shared. If you create a brand new board with all new images, you can put in the description and your links and everything. And I get a lot of interaction from Pinterest just from one of my main boards, but I have several up there.
So you're taking their pictures and taking their link out and putting yours in?
I'm just searching for images that are just in that niche, downloading all those images, uploading them to Pinterest, and putting my links in those pages.
I would be very uncomfortable with that personally, for copyright issues.
Well, I'm not claiming that I took the picture. I mean, if you look at most of my Pinterest, there's only a handful of my personal pictures, and I think that's true for a lot of different pages out there. But if you pin another pin, just be aware that you're advertising whatever links on that pin.
Right.
Yeah, but that's a good thing. I mean, it's good to share. It's good to share.
It's not bad. It's not bad to share. I would like to, if I blog or something and I grab someone's idea or something and mention them in there, but Pinterest is a whole new platform, so you can just, you create the interest in the board. This is my board. This is all the things in the board that I'm interested in this niche and I think are cool. Not that I put them together, not that I created the images, but if you want to know more about that niche, I've got a link in here.
But one of the things that they're saying is, a lot of these images are copyrighted, and they're copyrighted by the person that puts them up because they're associated with their blog. So if you're taking those and downloading them and putting them up on your board and putting your stuff on
it, copyright-free stuff, and then you won't have any issues with that.
Right.
Okay. Well, that works. Okay, cool. Thanks for that caveat.
It's cool. I get a lot of comments and shares and likes on those. I mean, it's probably next to YouTube. It's probably my most interactive third is Instagram.
Well, I mean, Peck Fitzgerald, everything that she does on Google Plus is got a blog post associated with it, and she's pinning it for later. And so any shares that she gets, that's how she's doing a lot of things. And man, she's huge all over the place because of that stuff. And I don't know what else she's doing, but you see her all the time on Google Plus with the blog post on there, and then the share for later on Pinterest. So she's got all that stuff on Pinterest, and I know that's driving tons and tons of traffic. So if you're a blogger and you're not on Pinterest, you need to be on Pinterest just for the links. It's like anything else, if you're a blogger and you're not putting stuff out on Google Plus, you're crazy. Because these are huge authority links, and they're worth a lot more. They're worth thousands of small links. So I mean, do it. But anyway, that'd be my suggestion. So let's see. What else were we going to talk about? Was that it?
I don't do much podcasts, but I will rip the video audio that I made and upload it to SoundCloud and archive. We talked about that several times, but I don't necessarily have a specific podcast. Find audio file from the same video that I made from SoundCloud. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And I was saying how it limits you on space, and then the next day they upgraded the space. So I've got quite a bit more there. It's got a ton of space on archive. New videos, documents, audio, whatever you want on archive.
Cool. One thing I just wanted to, if anybody's interested in, I can put a link in the show notes. Did you guys know that you can actually host your podcast for free on Google Drive?
I did not.
Did you know that you could host a website on Google Drive?
No.
You can do that too. You know when the Royals, when I think it was Kate Middleton, when she got married to whoever she married.
Yeah.
That's where they hosted that website on. They hosted it on Google Drive. Now you only get so much bandwidth, and after that it's like an S3 account. They charge you per bandwidth, but you'll never, if you host some stuff there, you can do that. So if you're interested, I'll put a link to that in the show notes, and it'll walk you through how to do that. So I just think that's cool. And I haven't put anything up on it yet because I haven't. It takes time to do it. It's technical, but it's supposed to be fairly easy to do. So are you interested in seeing a link to that?
I am, because I'm interested in maybe possibly figuring out a way to do my pictures over there.
Well, you can. This will show you how to put up a website that you can host, and the neat thing about it on the podcast, evidently that's a free thing, but it didn't say anything about traffic coming in. But on the website, it was about. I forget if you get 1 gigabyte or something, and then after that it's like an S3. It depends on traffic. So if you get a lot of traffic, but the neat thing about it is if you do get a lot of traffic, you're paying for it like an S3 account, which is just it's not that much money. And that's, I mean, but if you're getting that much spike in traffic, you're probably pulling in some revenues too. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'll put that in the link in case anybody's interested. So go see the show notes. You'll love them. But anyway, yeah, you'll have to do it, Arizona. Then tell me how to do it.
Okay. You'll let me figure it out, huh?
Yeah. Well, you'll be able to do it just like that. I guarantee it, because I was looking at it today, and I think I almost can figure it out. So I mean, easily. So okay. Unless they've changed something, because his instructions are pretty good, and I've done things with that he's showed us how to do before. And they're easy to do. You just got to download some stuff and do it this and that, and it works out pretty good. So the guy's name, you can catch him at it's Labnol, Labnol, and at Labnol. He's on Twitter, and he is I forget his name, but he's in India, and he knows everything there is to know about Google Drive, and he's technical. And he's got a pretty good Twitter following. And it's digital something. I'm sorry. I hang on a minute. Let me look him up real quick because I need to give him a shout out. Oh, let's see. Here we go.
What is the capacity of your Google Drive? Say if you're going to do a podcast, or is it the same as your entire Google Drive? Or is
Yeah, I mean it's unlimited. I mean it's Google's stuff. So you can have as much. I don't think you can break them. So it'll stay fast, and I'm looking at this thing right now. So I mean that was the neat thing. That's why the Royals had the wedding set up there, because it got huge amounts of traffic. Yeah, it's Digital Inspiration. That's the name of his thing. But it's at Labnol, Labnol, is his Twitter account. So, but it's really if you like Drive, you'll love this guy. So anyway, he's got all kinds of neat little workarounds on stuff. So, any questions about that, or
David Wood?
Huh?
Anybody follow David Wood?
I used to. I don't pay that much attention to him anymore.
I thought you had said you had done some Power or something with him.
He's got. I've got a product of his where he took people, and it's a Tony Robbins thing. You know how if somebody's got bad memories or whatever, then they go and they recall that up, then they recall a good memory, and then they touch them, and it grounds them in the good memory of that. And so he was doing that kind of stuff. So it's pretty neat kind of stuff, that kind of stuff. So I've still got that, if that's what you're talking about. But other than that, now I used to follow him a lot. I mean, he's one of the better marketers in the world. David Wood is super, super, super sharp. But I don't follow him like I used to. Go ahead.
Bert and I are going to Vegas this weekend to the Power event, and like to learn a little bit from him. Not necessarily be in Power, but just to see what he's got going. He's
He's one of the better speakers in the world. And he can, he does some amazing stuff, and most of it's mind work. So it's pretty neat. So if you're able to, is who you're going with, do they actually know him? Can you actually get in and talk to him?
I don't know if Bert knows him that well. I think Diane does. I think she's going to be there too. So
Well, hook,
but,
I can almost guarantee Diane does. So grab onto her, and she's going to be there. Go party with Dave. That'll be fun.
yeah. I know Rob's going to be there, and
Rob's doing pretty good in that. He's in that program, so I think he does pretty good there. So, yeah. So have fun. Good, cool.
Yeah.
When is that going to be?
That's this weekend.
Oh, good. Well, have fun, my man. All right. So, and congratulations to you too, by the way. I saw I gave you a big kudo on that. Rising up in the ranks, my man. Good deal.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What's that for?
He's coming up on the leaderboards on one of the programs, so it's pretty cool. He's getting leads, so it's a pretty good deal. So I just yay. Go for it.
There's technique, and technique is everything.
There you go. There you go. Well, we'll have to get you to share it on our deal here one day. So
next week we should have some good tips to come back with. So we'll see.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, we're at time, so unless anybody's got anything they want to say particularly, Arizona, we're on you. So you want to say anything?
I just want to wish everyone a wonderful Tuesday and a fabulous rest of their week.
Yay!
On today's visions.
Today's visions, and you're on what days again?
Oh, Tuesdays. Well, Mondays I do WordPress Bites. Tuesdays here and Talking Art, and Fridays is Thinking Out Loud.
Cool. So catch her on Google Plus. She's all over the place, and we'll put her stuff in the show notes. So check the show notes. You'll be able to see where she is and hook up with her. Catherine, what's up?
I am just continuing with Balanced Energy and working with Arizona to work on my website, and which is awesome. So that's what I'm up to this week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Dustin, your turn to shout out, my man.
I'm just excited for this weekend. You know, we've been doing. I've been working pretty close with Diane and Bert, and seems to be working. So I'm just plugging away. I like the new year's got me inspired, revved up, and I still think content is king. You know, I've got stuff that I produced, you know, a year and a half ago that people are contacting me on now that I forgot about. So it's, you know, that the more you can get out there, I think the more it helps.
And the more different places you can get it out there too, because you'll be amazed at where things go, and you'll get stuff in from you have no idea sometimes where they're coming from, and that a lot of that's RSS feeds. So
it's always fun to just Google your name and see what comes up. You know.
Yep, that
Hopefully
is true.
It's all good, you know.
There you go. All right. Is that it, or do you want to say anything else?
I'd say, you know, if you can make it tonight to the hangout tonight, Bert's going to be on tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit what we're planning for this month and the rest of the month. I guess it's almost over, isn't it? Jeez.
Yep. So what's the name of the show, and how can people get to it?
It's the MLSP hangout. You know, you can contact me if you want to get into that. You can contact anyone else that's in MLSP. I can leave a link.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck. You guys have fun tonight.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, super. Okay, cool. Well, all right. Well, that's got it for today. So see you guys next Tuesday. Hope you all had a good time. Are there any comments out there in the audience that we need anything? So just shout out to the audience and everybody that was here. And you guys have a great one, and we'll see you next Tuesday at noon. Take care. Everybody have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.